when I was about to move up to the Twin Cities about 12 years ago, and I happened to see my college roommate at a mall in suburban Chicago. He said, "Well, why do you want ice cream this time of year?" Well, I just really like my ice cream. I mean, I remember growing up in a small town Iowa where I think I was bummed that some of the Dairy Queens had to close for the season because they didn't have indoor seating. I guess that's why it's nice that places like convenience stores still have a cooler where you can get an ice cream sandwich if you want it, and of course those are really cheap too. But a friend invited me to an ice cream tasting event in Minneapolis in a coffee shop on Friday, and I liked ice cream so much I was willing to stand in line for a while for the tasting there, and I ended up buying a pint of pumpkin spice. I haven't eaten all the way yet because it was the same weekend I wanted to use my Dairy Queen 2-for-1 Blizzard coupon. Somebody once challenged me about that. They said, "How do you become a member of that fan club?" It's like, well, I wasn't sure. That was so long ago that I had joined, and I think the main thing is just give out your email address, and most months they're going to send you a coupon. So when Dairy Queen had their 75th anniversary and was giving away free ice cream, it's like, yeah, people were going ape over that. I didn't want to stand in line for that when I was probably already way ahead on free ice cream with all the Blizzard coupons. I'm single, so that means I eat both of them by myself, so I just tell them to put a cover on one, I take it home and have it for a later day. I'll share, but if you got nobody to share with, you got no choice but eat it all yourself. I also like going to the Winter Carnival. I guess I've really become a St. Paul person since I moved here. I like getting the buttons every year from the Winter Carnival. And I went the second weekend to see the ice sculptures, even though I worked downtown, so of course it's no problem during lunch to go over to Rice Park and see them. But it was really odd what I ended up seeing the day I went there, where one of the ice sculptures was a scene from Star Wars. I haven't seen the latest Star Wars movie yet, and one of them was Darth Vader. And then later on I saw somebody in a Darth Vader costume posing for photo ops. And then after that, I didn't see the Darth Vader ice sculpture, so it's like, all right, what is all this meaning behind it? Were they saying that Darth Vader came to life? Oh, sorry, that was a different Star Wars character. That was Han Solo getting frozen in Empire Strikes Back. Eventually, I'll see the latest Star Wars movie. I'm just not sure when. I still remember the prequels where I didn't want to stand in line for a while to see episode 1, so I saw My Favorite Martian instead. Yes, sometimes I need to pause. Oh, yes, I did move here about 12 years ago, and one of the things I remembered about first coming here to look at housing was I stayed at the Motel 6 in Roseville, and then I ended up eating at the Joe Sensa's restaurant, which is across the parking lot. And this weekend was the 12th anniversary of moving here because I moved here Valentine's Day weekend, and I finally went there again. I don't know why it took so long to go back there. And yeah, I mean, the food is good there, but I guess it's a little out of my way, even though I go to Rosedale Mall, which isn't far from there. And I guess the lasting impression of being there this time was that I said, well, I'm not used to seeing cloth napkins, but I'll use them. And she said, I'll bring you paper napkins. People don't use the cloth napkins much. It's like, okay, then why are they there if they don't get used much? Do they just look prettier? She didn't have an answer for that. Oh, well, I've spoken about doing stand-up comedy being a futile attempt to stay out of a therapist office. I've realized I've been in and out of them ever since I was 12, if you count times being in a guidance counselor's office. That may have been where I told my first joke about how one classmate was named Ford, and I said, you're one of the few Fords found on the road dead, and even the guidance counselor said to me, you like those one-liners, don't you, Lyle? And it's like, all right, and why did it take me so long to finally take the stage? I am not sure why that was. I might have tried to tell jokes even before then, but that seemed to be one of the better ones. all I remember was being at summer camp one year, and I wanted to say to somebody, you want to know the joke, you're the joke. I mean, yeah, that'd be weak even by elementary school standards. But I guess you gotta start somewhere. Well, yes, I used to live in suburban Chicago. I like going back there once a year to visit old haunts. I guess I probably will be doing that pretty soon. And the most recent visit I had there was last summer, although it was just on layover at O'Hare Airport when I was coming back from Toronto, where I had a nice time at the Pan Am Games and doing some other things. And I have to tell people what the Pan Am Games are. It's basically the Olympic Games, but only for North and South America. And even though I enjoyed my time there, it's still really weird about how I speak about my time there. I'm just as likely to talk about the flights I had after I left Toronto. I think it's because my flight was late leaving Toronto, then I missed my connecting flight in Newark, New Jersey that would have taken me home to Minnesota directly. So I was really bummed about that because they shut the gates 10 minutes before the flight leaves and I didn't quite make it in time. So I went to get rebooked and they sent me through Chicago. They said, how about the Windy City? It's like, yeah. I'm a Midwest kid. Of course, they were playing my song when they said, we'll just put you on a flight to Chicago. I mean, it's not Newark. I mean, if I'm going to be on layover somewhere, yeah, I'd much rather be in familiar territory. I mean, Chicago-style pizza, 312 beer, what's not to like, even if all you're seeing is an airport. I'm sure I'm not the first one that has said that they're not a big fan of Newark, New Jersey. I mean, some would probably just call it an overflow from New York City. Yeah, I'm pausing too much here, I'm aware of that. Oh yeah, I did going back to Carnival. Some of these things, I don't know what I wrote down. Oh, yeah, all right. I work with a guy majoring in political science, and he always gives me good material, but I haven't had the courage yet to tell him that because he probably never talk to me again. But I was telling him about how I got Girl Scout cookies Friday during my lunch break. Because working downtown, there were plenty of tables set up in the Skyway. And when I came back, he said, oh, maybe the Girl Scouts should sell drugs. They might make more money that way. And it's like, well, to some people, cookies are because of the sugar in them. And then I thought of those old jokes about people smoking weed, marijuana. It's like, well, don't people get the munchies? So, yeah, I'd like to think that the Girl Scouts are in the right business selling cookies. In fact, when I was leaving to get on my bus home this evening, I happened to see a girl after I left the ATM ask me if I wanted to buy cookies, and I said, no, I already bought them on Friday. Are you going to be here on Friday? That's my payday, it's easier to do that. I haven't even touched the cookies that I bought on Friday. I try to pace myself on that. Sure, I like supporting them because like most dudes, yes, I do like food, but it's not the only thing that I eat. Well, I have to admit it's more than what I paid for cookies when it's $4, even though, yeah, it's for a good cause. Well, I guess that'll do it for me. Thank you, all been great.